Hello everyone, we're going to be looking at the severe weather threats throughout portions of the north central US today. Right now we are looking at the severe weather outlook for today, June 29th. We do have a slight risk for the severe storms across portions of the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. As you can see there in that yellow shading color, could definitely see a possibility for some severe storms and even a couple tornadoes possible within this area, so definitely be weather aware if you are in this type of region today. Also a marginal risk for those severe storms, a level 1 out of 5. That's in that dark green shaded area. You do have an isolated chance for some severe storms, but not really anything like that's going to be in the slight risk for severe storms. There's also other separate marginal risks for those severe storms across portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota. Also down here in parts of Tennessee, and even down here in Texas, you could also see some isolated severe storms throughout all of those areas. Here's the tornado risk, which like I said, you can see a couple tornadoes throughout today. You have 5% risk for those tornadoes in that brown shaded area there, and also 2% risk for those tornadoes in that green shaded area. Here's the hail risk, and we do have a significant chance for that hail, which is 2-inch plus size hail is going to be possible within this hatch type area. Definitely could see some pretty damaging hail, so make sure you have everything under shelter. Bring anything inside that could potentially be easily damaged by hail. Lastly, here's the wind risk, and we do have up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts within those storms in the yellow shaded area, and up to 40-mile-per-hour gusts within the green shaded areas there. It's also including these other green shaded areas. You can all see 40-mile-per-hour gusts within those storms in all of those areas. Now we can look at future simulated radar for today's severe weather threat. Alright, so now we are looking at the future simulated radar around, let's get to around now here, and we can really see once we get to around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. This is 5 p.m. and you start to see some cells developing western part of North Dakota, even in the more eastern part of Montana. You start to see some development, and also you move down south here to South Dakota, and you really start to see that development in Wyoming and South Dakota. Definitely that development will start around 5 to 6 p.m. You get to around 6 p.m. now, and you're seeing really this development really start to fire up, as you can see here in the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. This moves on about a northward direction, more of a northeastward direction, and that turns into kind of a line of storms. Once you get to around 8 p.m., that kind of really forms there, and you could definitely see a couple tornadoes move throughout this region today. You still have those storms, so those separate cells behind this in the Montana and Wyoming area. Move on here to 9 p.m. Central, and definitely these are going to be some pretty intense storms moving throughout North Dakota, South Dakota, and even the border of kind of the corner of the border of South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana. Definitely you're going to see some intense storms, especially if you're in the if you're in North Dakota. As time moves on, you get to around 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Looks like it is kind of weakening as you get to around the late overnight hours, but definitely you still could see some very damaging gusts that are going to be within this. You get into around 2 a.m. and still some pretty strong storms, but the northern part of this line of storms has really weakened. As you can see there, you still have some pretty heavy rain from that, but that has pretty much turned into isolated showers and thunderstorms, and you even have more development behind this around the Wyoming and Montana border. So definitely you could see some rounds of rain throughout the day and tonight if you're in these areas, especially when you get into around early morning hours of tomorrow. You still see some more storms moving throughout that region. That's around 7 a.m. tomorrow, so you still see some more stronger storms throughout tomorrow, even though you're seeing some tonight and this afternoon. If you did enjoy this video, I would ask you to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and make sure to share this video with any friends or family that might be impacted by these severe storms. Anyways, stay safe.